All right, thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. My name is Katie Schauer and I am the Digital Marketing Specialist here at InSource. You've joined us today to listen to our great friend Arish Rojas from WIN-911 talk about remote alarms and to give a presentation on their great app that they've got. Just a few housekeeping items before I hand it over to Arish. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A or chat boxes. I will be monitoring those and we will be asking all questions at the end of the session. If you experience any issues or difficulties, you can use those Q&A and chat boxes for the same thing. I'll be monitoring those throughout. This is being recorded and we will be posting that to our website later this week, and you will also receive a follow-up email with that recording. With that, I am now going to make Arish our presenter and hand it over to him. So Arish, take it away.
Thank you very much, Katie. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you were muted. Sorry. You're
awesome.
Good to go.
Thanks. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for participating in this webinar. I am very excited to talk about WIN-911 Mobile. And right now, as everybody's going through this COVID-19, I hope and I pray for you and each one of your family members to be safe. Stay home, and one of the major reasons why WIN-911 is continually active and working so much is because WIN-911 is remote alarming, right? Remote alarming and notification software. So today we're going to do a very short session of what WIN-911 Mobile has to offer. So let's get started. Let me share this with you all. And let me go back over here. Let me see. Of course, when you were looking for it, it's not there anymore. So let's try this again. This one right here. And share screen. There we go. Let's see. Let me know if everybody can see that for a second here. Excellent, thank you. Let's put this in flight mode. All right, everybody okay? Can everybody see that?
You're good to go.
All right, so WIN-911 mobile product has been in place since right about June of 2019. And we are going to talk a little bit about the history of it. So let's take a look at that. We're talking a little bit about the mobile app history, and then we're going to get into a very hands-on product training for you also, making sure that you have your cell phone with you. And then if you downloaded the app, fantastic. If you haven't, do not worry. We'll give you a couple minutes to download it. And then we'll actually walk and demo the app together. That's my whole idea for today. We'll have technical Q&A session, and we'll show you some technical resources where you can find more information about this mobile app. Let's talk about the history. Whoops, let's go back over here. So WIN-911 is the most widely notification software. We are in 17,000 facilities, 7 different countries. We partner with all major SCADA HMI vendors. Our headquarters, and that's where I'm currently at, I'm in Austin, Texas. This is my apartment, as you can probably all guess by now. But we have offices in France, in Mexico, and China. So it is thanks to our world-class distributors that we are here, and system integrators that do the installation of our software. So I appreciate that. And with that, a lot of customers might think us as a wastewater company, which we are. But all of these industries are where we play at, and there's 5 major ones though. So we have oil and gas, food and beverages, life science, manufacturing, and obviously the largest industrial application is in the water and wastewater treatment plants. Okay, so a little bit about the history of the app. This app started back in 2009. That was our version 1. And then in 2012, we did version 2. In 2014, we went ahead and launched the enterprise product. In 2018, we surpassed over 5 million push notifications. And 2019 is what we are going to be demoing today, which is a new WIN-911 mobile app. All right. That's a little bit about the history of the mobile app. So a lot of you guys are probably here because you guys have the legacy app. And some of you guys might already have received a notification that the legacy app will be completely gone by 2021. So December 2021, that app will no longer work. So you still have enough time, and that's why we're doing these videos throughout to ensure that you know the differences and you have enough time to transfer from one legacy app to the new app. So what are some of the new and different things of the new app versus the old one? So the old one needed a device ID. Now the new one does not require that. The old one needed an IP address. The new one does not require that. So what does the new one require, you might ask? Well, that's very easy. We just need to sign in with a Office 365. So any Outlook, Microsoft will allow you to ensure that we know who you are. And actually we, meaning WIN-911 software, knows and identifies your mobile device through Office 365. And we utilize Microsoft Azure to be able to do that. So it's very, very secure. All right, this is the fun part. I want everybody to take out your phones and go to, if you have an Android, go to the left and the Google Play Store. And if you have an Apple, go to your Apple Store. So you can get your phones up and turn them on and put them in a picture mode, and then just kind of check out the QR code and feel free to download them. So I'm going to give a couple seconds, maybe a minute or so, for you guys to be able to do that. And if you guys can put on the chat as we get ready to do this. In the meantime that you guys do this and you download it, so I'll give it a couple more seconds here. I will show you some of the highlights, right? And kind of talk through those highlights. And then we're actually going to do this together and we'll actually demo it together. So I am going to allow for a couple more seconds. I myself want to try to grab my phone here. And I am going to get into my WIN-911 mobile app. And from here, we'll give it 2 more seconds because it does take time. In the meantime, we'll talk about the highlights. So the highlights is a native UI to Apple and Android. So the mobile app is natively ready for both softwares, both mobile devices. The major thing that we did is secure enhancements, and we'll talk about those here shortly. But this mobile app does allow you to give you push notifications, and one of the things that we are able to do is multiple sites. So how do we do multiple sites? Let's say that you have a license on site A, site B, and site C. You're able to get all of those licenses, go through your alarms, right? Send them out to WIN-911. Microsoft Azure keeps that and then sends it out to your mobile device. Now, what are some of the highlights outside of what we just talked about? Well, we do control alarm formats right inside the app. We're able to chat to other team members, track who has sent the alarm, suspend notifications with do not disturb mode. Okay. Then we'll talk a little bit about the security has always been a priority for us. And this specifically, more than anything, it is now an outbound initiation, no firewall exceptions. You can have your WIN-911 module on the plant network. But if you want, and you want an optional security component, we have what we call the mobile hub. And we'll show you where to get more information about that. That mobile hub can be in the business network or the DMZ, and between two firewalls. And then the WIN-911 mobile web app, it's outside on the Azure cloud service, which we handle that for you. So there is no extra fees or anything like that. So what happens is when alarm comes out from your WIN-911 mobile module out to your mobile phone, that's the push notification goes out. It's outbound initiation, and then you are able to reply after the Active Directory of Azure has verified who you say you are. Okay? All right. So I think that should be more than enough time to get you guys ready. So go ahead and open your WIN-911 mobile app for me. You guys should have a login, use demo. Go ahead and click use demo. And then it's gonna say, hey, this demo session is only for 15 minutes. Go ahead and hit OK. And if you have another prompt, just hit allow. And everybody should be right about this area where it says alarm list, right? So you have all your alarms right there. And if everybody's in the same page, you should see mechanical room boiler temperature, and there just was a change of that. And then the one below that should be storage water pump, and below that raw material hopper number 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the room boiler temp. So let's, oops, room boiler temp, go ahead and click on that for me. It is inactive and acknowledged, right? So in my PowerPoint, you can see here that if it has a red triangle, it has not been acknowledged and is currently active, right? If it has a circle with a check mark, is active and acknowledged. If it has a green triangle, which is what we currently have, is not active and it has not been acknowledged. And then what we're going to make this happen is we're going to make it a green circle with a check mark as we acknowledge. So somebody, please go ahead and hit acknowledge on the mechanical room boiler temp. Excellent. Thank you very much. Demo user number 16. I appreciate that. As everybody could probably see, we're in different parts of the United States. We see the acknowledgement there. All right, so with that, that's what you're currently able to see on the events. You can see tag description, condition, value, and much more. Whoever acknowledgement had these right here. It says acknowledge option comments. In this case, the comment was got it. And you can see that. So that has been acknowledged, and that's where we are at now. And then if you go back, so everybody just go back on your phone where you can see the alarms. You should see that that alarm should be completely gone, right? Because it was inactive and we have been acknowledged, so that alarm should be completely gone. So right now, I want everybody to go back in there and go to the lift station number 22 lift pump. So everybody go ahead and hit lift station number 22 lift pump. Okay, let's see that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge that for everybody. We're gonna say test, acknowledge. Okay, excellent. So I want everybody to go to the top where it says chat. Let's go ahead and click on chat on the top. Should be right next to events, right between teams and events. And then I want to say hi. Hello. Hi. Excellent. So the nice thing about this The nice thing about this is that this mobile app allows you to interact among everybody that is in that team. So anybody that gets this alarm and has seen that alarm will be able to chat. So perhaps is the operator in the plant seeing this alarm, and then perhaps somebody else might be the technician, right? Checking out this alarm. So the operator will be able to tell the technician, hey, don't come, this is a test, right? So it is, I appreciate that. Excellent hands-on demo, thank you. Demo user number 12, we don't know your names, but in one of the things that I wanted to mention is the next thing is when we go to Teams. So let's go ahead and click Teams. You are going to be able to see the demo users. Now, in my example in the PowerPoint, you actually see names. So that's very easy. When you put this on your hands and on your SCADA and your WIN-911, you're going to be able to have the people's names. So you're actually going to be able to know who are you talking to. Now, on my PowerPoint, everybody just take a look at the PowerPoint. It says, if you have an open eye, that means that that contact has actually seen the alarm. If the eye is shut or closed, that means that they have not. But there is also a do not disturb mode, which we don't have any of them over here because we haven't talked about that. But what that allows you is, instead of the mobile app pushing notifications, and let's say that you forgot to tell your boss that you are on vacation and you just don't want to see this, right? And when you call him, you're still getting alarms. You just don't want that. There is a way to do not disturb, which we'll talk about fairly soon. So next, now that we're going to talk about do not disturb, the next thing that I want you guys to do is, if you have an Android, I want you to go to your top left, and there's 3 lines. I want you to click on that. Now, if you have an Apple phone, you are going to see an area where it says settings. So go ahead at the bottom right. I think that's where it's going to be settings. I want you guys to click on that. If you have an Android, top left, 3 lines, go ahead and click settings. Okay. All right, in settings, there is under sounds and notifications, a do not disturb. All right. I want you guys to click on that, and then you guys should have a little pop-up with a calendar. That calendar will tell you, hey, how long do I want my do not disturb to be on? So let's say we can say till tomorrow at 2:18 p.m. set. So now my do not disturb has been set. I will not get any notifications pop-ups. Now, what happens with that, right? You're not getting any notifications, but if you go into the app and you get to see the alarms, you'll still be able to see them. You're just not gonna get the nuisance alarms and the notifications on your phone, okay? Excellent. So we showcase here the date which you're going to select to return back to work, and then you select the time, which we all did, and the do not disturb is already set, and you can see until what time inside of the app. So it kind of gives you a visual reminder of when that do not disturb will end. Okay, so I want you guys to go to report summary. So let me show you how to get there. I want you guys to go and click the 3 bars on the top if you have an Android phone, and I want you guys to click reports. If you have an Apple phone, it should be at the bottom right on the middle. It should say reports. All right. Excellent. I think everybody should be there by now. With that, you have, right now you see demo site 1, demo site 2, 3, 4, and number 22. I want you all to click on demo site number 1, all OPC tags. All right, so these should look very similar to what we're seeing over here. with these reports, you're going to be able to see the different tags and why is this important. This is not necessarily alarms, right? These are just tags that are important to you. And what you're able to see this is these reports are always on. As soon as you take a look at the report, it's live. So what's important about these reports? Let's go ahead on the second, index number 2. You should see HVAC air temperature, value 85 Fahrenheit, right? Units Fahrenheit, quality good. The gateway name is demo site. Okay, why is that important? Let's say that the HVAC air temperature should hit an alarm stage at 90. Currently it's 85. And you, as the operator, right, or as a technician, you know that that value should be around 70. So you know that it's higher, not quite an alarm, but it's higher. So you can take and proactively take a look at this before it becomes an alarm. So that's one of the biggest benefits that the report is able to give you. Okay, excellent. Let's take a look at the next thing. All right, so that's reporting, and I want you guys to go back to the top 3 lines on the top left, and I want you guys to go to settings. If you have an Apple phone, I want you guys to go to the bottom right to settings. Everybody should be there. And then from here, what we're gonna do is report format. So we're gonna go ahead under formats, look up for report data item, which is what we have here. So look for that. It should be the 3rd one down. Okay, so what's in here? This allows you to select what type of information you want in your personal report. So right now we're displaying, and each one of you guys might have different displays. But then at the bottom it has available to display. So these are the information that you might be able to add. So let's go ahead and let's add a tag name and a event time. Those are 2 that we can go ahead and do that. And then edit alarm details. So let's go ahead and just go back. If you're in your Apple, go ahead and just hit settings back again. It should allow you to go back to the formats, sounds and notifications. And the formats, you'll look for alarm details. So let's click alarm details. The same idea, right? Will be displayed. So this is anything that is in red X's is currently being displayed. And then if you scroll all the way down, you're gonna see available for display. And these are things that you can display. So let's go ahead and do active time. All right, what's next here? I want you guys to go to alarms. So if you have an Apple phone, go to the bottom left and hit alarms. If you have an Android, top 3 lines and then hit alarms. Okay, let's all go into the mechanical room chiller temp. Let's all hit that. And if you guys remember, we did active time, right, for the alarm. So if you scroll down under severity, active time is now there. So that's where we put it. That's where it is. So more information available to you. Okay, so that is pretty much everything that we have to cover about the mobile app. Probably one more thing that I would like to share with you guys. The nice thing about this mobile app is if you have an Android phone, you are going to be able to see all the way on the top right. There is 3 dots and a couple lines. That is to share that alarm out. So if you hit that, and let me see if I'm able to do that. If you hit that, you might be able to send a text, a WhatsApp, message, email, etc. Right? The same thing is available for Apple phones. So you are able to say, hey, you know, I know that this person has seen it, right? This alarm. the technician has not seen this. So you can go ahead and send that as a text, right? So maybe they haven't seen it, so you're going to be able to do that. All right. So that was one of the things that I just kind of wanted to show you. I wanted to get you guys a couple technical requirements, right? Number one, you have to have a smartphone. I know there is a lot of water, wastewater locations that still have a flip phone, so that will not work for our mobile app. You have to have an iOS 10.4 or higher, an Android 5.1 or higher with Google Play services. Now, you don't have to worry about any of these as long as you keep your phone up to date. All of these requirements are met. So no, necessarily, you don't have to go back and ask us questions. Hey, which iOS we have? It generally will work unless you haven't done any changes to your iOS or Android, right? Then you might have to do that. Everybody really pretty much is covered on these. Will alerts appear on a smartwatch? Yes, most definitely. This is one of the coolest things. When you set up your WIN-911 mobile, it's everything smart. So if that notification happens on your phone, it will also happen on your watch, which is quite neat. Everybody, you probably should see that the demo has finished on that side. Go ahead and click OK so you don't get a bunch of alarms coming through. All right. What version of WIN-911 I need to use a WIN-911 mobile? Okay, so you have to have version 4.19 or higher. So the reason why I say version 19X is because a lot of our customers are still in version 3. So you have to move up to version 4. And right now we are 4.20.5. That's the current release that we are on. But if you want to test our new WIN-911 mobile app and you want to kind of check it out in your application and you meet the requirement of V4.19 or higher, then you should be able to take out the 30-day trial and play with that. This is only available for interactive and advanced. So interactive and advanced is a minimum requirement for the WIN-911 mobile app. And where can I find the system requirements of installation of WIN-911? You go to win911.com, search for documents on the top. You can actually go to resources, documents, and then system requirements. So I mess up that. So it's win911.com, resources, documentation, and then system requirements. I'm able to use the old WIN-911. Is there an upgrade path? So yes, that's a commonly asked question. Is there an upgrade path from the old app to the new? No, they are completely two different apps. The major difference why we did this is for security purposes. We know and understand the IT departments for a lot of plants and cities. That was a priority, so we had to create a brand new app. So no. Will the old WIN-911 continue to work on my system? Most definitely, yes. Now, the only problem with that is that there is no additional development on it. And as I mentioned before, on December of 2021, will obsolete that specific notifier. Now, the other question I do not want you guys to freak out is if you're still in version 7, all other notifiers will continue to work. Just the old mobile 911 will not work. Okay, so all other notifiers will continue to work, so you don't have to freak out with any of those type of questions, but I'll be happy to answer them. Can I complete the trial? A trial of this app? Yes, you have 30-day demo. It is available on our website, win911.com. When you go to 30-day, you can say, hey, I would like to check this new app, and we'll give you the demo, and you can test it on your site with WIN-911 license. Is there any additional requirements for purchasing? Yes, you need to purchase a technical support contract. So you have to maintain support, because that's how we're continuously moving this app. There is a cost, inherent cost, to continue to keep this app working. So we are not asking you for anything more than just the technical support contract, right? And that support contract is for maintenance, that support contract is for upgrade, that support contract is for the mobile app. It's 20% of your software, nothing to do with hardware. We don't charge for any of that. But if you're not under support, the app will not work. Now, all other notifiers, once again, will continue to work without any issues, okay? And what does it mean that it will not work? Just the users will not receive any alarms. How much does technical support contract per year? Can we do multi-year packages? Okay, so once again, the technical support is 20% of the cost of your software license at the time of purchase, right? So let's say that you have an interactive that is $3,000. 20% of that is $600, right? And can you buy a multi-year package? Most definitely. You are able to do that, so yes. And last but not least, I understand the support contract is critical to maintain your alarms. How will the user know if the support contract is valid or is about to expire? Well, that's a great question here that we ask ourselves, right? And the contract information is provided at sales time, right when we sell the license, but there is also going to be notifications being sent by mail, by email, and actually your mobile app will send you a couple reminders saying, hey, you know, I'm about to expire. If I expire, I will not be able to notify you. So don't worry, there is always going to be ways to let you know when the time is due. Okay. Oops. Okay, so technical resources, and by the way, we're almost done. I know we're about that time here. You can find them on WIN-911.com, and here is a page what it's going to look like. Some of the resources that we highly recommend for installation is installation checklist if we have any SIs, and the knowledge base articles. That is also, you can find it under WIN-911.com. Feature request. Now we have a website, features.win911.com. That is features.win911.com. We put this out to you, SIs, distributors, end users. If you want a feature and you want to see it at WIN-911, here is where you can find it. Here's where you can add features, and it's a voting tool. So you can research and say, hey, you know, I really want this feature. And as people vote, the more votes that we get for a specific feature, we'll go ahead and do so and put it up. So one of the features, it was a lot of version 7, all legacy customers wanted to get alarm announcer in standard, interactive, advanced. We did that. Now is available. So what are we working on? And I believe this might be the last part of the presentation. We are working in a new desktop UI to replace Silverlight UI with a WPF desktop application, remove the ISS dependency, which has been a little bit of a pain for everybody, decrease resource usage. We're talking about redundancy, automatic failover and backup for WIN-911 with a sync configuration database. And everybody's been asking me these OPC UA alarm on conditions. As soon as some of our biggest partners, such as Aviva, such as GE or Rockwell, put OPC UA alarm on conditions, we'll go ahead and put that on for you guys. This is what we are planning to work on 2020. Excellent. Now, please, if there are any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, great. We actually have quite a few questions here.
Good.
Oh, I think I'm getting some feedback. Okay, so our first question is, will mobile app acknowledge OPC server or SCADA alarms on a PC?
So yes, so not directly, right? So to that point is WIN-911 will be able to acknowledge if you're in OPC back to WIN-911, not all the way back to the SCADA. So there is, for example, since we're talking about Wonderware and Aviva, so Wonderware System Platform, Wonderware InTouch, Wonderware InTouch Edge HMI, those have a direct connections. So what happens is when you acknowledge from your mobile app, you are acknowledging all the way back to the SCADA. So System Platform, InTouch Edge, okay? Same thing with GE, the same thing with Rockwell. But what happens if you have an OPC server? You are acknowledging back to WIN-911 because there is not a SCADA to acknowledge all the way back, right? Or at least it doesn't have that. Now, when OPC UA comes in, then yes, the capability will be there. So stay tuned if that's one of the things that you want. Our goal is to have that done by the end of this year. Good question.
Great. Does the alarm tag name in WIN-911, is it the same name that is used in the SCADA software?
Yes. So whatever you have in the SCADA software as your alarm tag will pass through your mobile app. So all of that information it's the same. Yes.
Great. And then there's a question, is this a SaaS solution or will I need to run this on my local servers? If so, is this Azure compatible?
Okay, so we handle all of that. So to you don't see any of that on your side. We handle all of the cloud service, all of that information. So you don't have to worry about that. So you just install WIN-911 in your SCADA network or your PLAN network, right? And that is it. That's what you take care of. We'll take care of the rest.
Great. Next question is actually about the free trial. There is also a 90-day free trial going on right now, isn't there, Arish?
So yes, so when you go to win911.com, all the way on the top left area says 30-day trial. You hit that, you download the 30-day trial, right? And what we're able to do is extend that. So after the 30-day has completed, you can request another 30 days and you can request another 30 days. So yes, we're able to do up to 90 days right now for the free trial.
Great. What documentation do you have for the IT team regarding security?
Yes, that's a great question. So let's take a look at that. So let's go ahead and go to win911.com. Are you able to see my?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So that was one of the things that we talked about, but I want to show you how to get to that. So win911.com, and then we are going to go to the resources documentation. This is one of my favorite areas, the one that I use the most. So documentations, we're going to scroll down to where it says WIN-911 mobile smartphone apps. And here it is, WIN-911 mobile security overview under technical documents.
The next question, do I need internet access for WIN-911 mobile to work?
That's a fantastic question. So right in here, this is why I opened it up. One of the things that we were talking about security is that you are able to do distributed deployment and architecture. So no, you do not need internet access on that SCADA server or PC because we created the WIN-911 mobile hub, and that can be distributed into your business network or DMC as it shows right here. And that's the one that is going to be able to connect to the Azure Cloud Service, Active Directory, and to your, in the internet, that's your phone and then goes back. So no, you don't have to have where WIN-911 is at in the plant network on the server. You do not have to have internet, but you would be able to distribute and deploy different architecture in your business network. Great question.
Great. We have one more question. Can I monitor multiple WIN-911 systems with WIN-911 mobile?
Yeah, most definitely. So one of the things that we talked about in the presentation was that you are able to have multiple sites. And if you guys remember, have site A, site B, site C, right, with WIN-911. You go all the way that to the Azure Cloud Service, and then that sends it out to your WIN-911 mobile. So as long as you select them as, building 1, building 2, building 3, or location A, B, or C, right, you'll see on the gateway name, you're going to be able to see which alarm from which area it is. That's a great question. Yeah.
Great. That is our last question. So Arish, thank you so much for your presentation. This was great information. We will be sending out a follow-up email with the recording later this week. It will also be posted to our website later this week. So if you want to review it or send it to a colleague, you'll be able to do that. Also, if you have any further questions, please feel free to touch base with us here at InSource. You can reach us at communications@insourcess.com, and we'll be happy to help you in any way we can. We know everyone's working from home these days. We are too, and we wish you all the best of health and to stay safe. Thanks again and have a great day.
Thank you very much.